Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Book Wrap. We've covered this week's X-Men books as well as this week's Batman books, so now it's time to move on. Kicking things off, we've got Avengers War Across Time, number 5. Where we left off, the Avengers, sans Thor, had been kidnapped to the future by Kang. So, Earth's mightiest heroes arrive in Kang's time, immediately attacking, though also being promptly rebuffed by Kang's technology, including a force field that's seemingly impenetrable. Iron Man fires a repulsor blast at it, and the blast simply ricocheted all over the place. Cap tries to use his shield, gets thrown back. Iron Man flies off to disrupting their force field's power, and Giant Man punches the force field, which allows Kang to reshape it. Cap suggests that Giant Man shrink down, and him and Wasp stay behind Cap's shield as Kang tries to use the force field to crush the three Avengers. However, his power source is destroyed. While damage is done to Kang's fortress, he's still able to send the Avengers back through time, and they catch glimpses of various of their own future. Including seeing things like the Young Avengers, various heroes fighting against Galactus, including Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, Venom, Wolverine, Punisher, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, and The Thing. Parts of Infinity War, the Kree Skrull War, meeting the Squadron Supreme. Giant Man catches a glimpse of Ultron, but they end up back in their time the day after they fought the ruler of Nidavellir, whose name I cannot recall. And thus ends the series. So, fun little mini. It really did feel like the old, older Avengers books. And Alan Davis's art also kind of helps sell the more classic era. Anyway, moving on though to our next book, we've got Scarlet Witch number 5. Where we left off, Scarlet Witch had seemingly defeated Scytha. However, Scytha found a suit of armor outside of town, and opted to go for round 2. So, in Lockkill, Wanda's using her powers to repair the damage that Scytha did, but Darcy insists she take a break for a moment so that she can, tend to Wanda's wounds. When Scytha attacks, apparently wearing an armor made partially of Mysterium, which makes her immune to Wanda's powers. But Wanda does manage to get the upper hand and convinces Scytha to maybe think about, perhaps things should be, she's the leader of the Bacchae, well, perhaps she can change their traditions. And Scytha leaves with a begrudging respect for Wanda, taking off the armor and saying that, should they meet on the opposing sides again, well, one will have a fair shot. And but and so this arc ends with Wanda and Darcy flying off, about to get coffee. They're gonna take the scenic route. Outside of town, a couple of youngsters that have gone to a cave for and have a few beers. However, their beer cans are crushed and turned into sharpened shurikens. They run from the cave, thinking it must be haunted. And it seems that it's Magneto who attacked them with their beer cans. Saying that perhaps he is a ghost. After all, what else do you call those who refuse to stay dead? And that is where the issue ends. This is not the last issue of Scarlet Witch. Next up, we do have next is the Scarlet Witch Annual, which is supposed to be kicking off the big Heroes versus Heroes event for this summer. And then next month, what did it say for next month? Just there's a Scarlet Witch 6 in June. So I think it was July, actually. I'm enjoying this book so far. Kind of like the idea that while Wanda's powers did come into play again in the fight against Scytha, she was able to talk her down rather than, Yes, I do enjoy a big knockdown, drag out slugfest between a couple of super people, but sometimes it's nice to see, diplomacy work. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Moon Knight, number 23. So Moon Knight is after Mr. Fear, but he doesn't want to so much stop Mr. Fear so much as find out who Mr. Fear is working for. So we begin with the new enforcers outside the Midnight Mission. Their quarry has retreated inside, and, well, they're smart enough. They're low-level super henchmen, but they're smart enough to know that going into the Midnight Mission is probably not the best idea. Their quarry is explaining that his dad said that he could trust Moon Knight if he needed help. Because Moon Knight knows what it's like to have people think you're crazy, untrustworthy, and unstable. So Moon Knight, of course, asks who this person's father was, and why the new enforcers are on his doorstep, and, well, Dylan Brock shows him and answers all of his questions by letting his other take over. And so, turns out there's a bounty on Dylan, courtesy of Alchemax and the Life Foundation. Moon Knight tells Dylan he didn't know Eddie well, but he does. But that Eddie was right. Moon Knight does know what it feels like to have people think he can't be counted on. And he tells Dylan that Dylan can count on him. They goad the enforcers into coming into the Midnight Mission, and, well, Moon Knight, Venom, and the Midnight Mission basically work together to take down the Enforcers, with Moon Knight going after the what the electricity-based abilities, and basically they managed to send the Enforcers running. Dylan's impressed with how Moon Knight kind of broke everything down, but and Moon Knight points out that Venom should have been able to deal with the new Enforcers on his own without a problem, which Dylan agrees. But he says there's something going on in the city. After all, Venom's sensitive to sound, and they keep catching weird frequencies, like the whole city's a tuning fork. And it's kind of throwing them off their game. So, Moon Knight asks if Venom can follow it, explaining to Venom along the way what he's dealing with. They come upon Mr. Fear, who's hiding in a panic room, stating that as soon as Venom and Moon Knight showed up, call the police. He's turning himself in. Which, while not a bad end to things, Moon Knight wants to know just who it is Fear's working for. But Venom and Moon Knight part ways, with Moon Knight explaining that there's a place for Dylan at the Midnight Mission if he wants it. And Dylan says that Moon Knight's a lot like his dad. Also wanted to be better, warning though to be careful because that's what got Eddie killed. And that is where the issue ends. Moon Knight continues to be a solid read on a monthly basis. Not a whole lot else to say really. And it was, nice little team up between Venom and Moon Knight. Moving on to our next book. Going back to the Distinguished Competition, we have Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo. Wrapping up Mark Silvestri's DC Black Label Batman miniseries. Where we left off, became clear that Joker was not exactly a trustworthy partner, was in fact working with our villain, Amanda Sims. So we get a Batman-Joker fight in which Batman very nearly crosses that line he swore he'd never cross. However, Amanda's children show up, and so now they once they have to work together. Turns out though that Batman put some explosive charges throughout the tunnels leading to where they're at, and detonates them. The subway station that they're beneath, after all, was abandoned after some structural flaws were discovered that could lead to structural collapse. And so, Batman causes structural collapse. Gordon saves Batman from drowning. And later on, Batman was informed of a break-in at First Gotham Bank. All it was taken was a safety deposit box. We find out that Amanda Sims was aware, managed to get some of Bruce Wayne's, managed to scratch Bruce Wayne or Batman and get some of his DNA, and so she learned the truth that Batman is Bruce Wayne. The Wayne Foundation. So first, Bruce activates the Aegis protocols, which are to basically make sure that anyone that could be a target of an enemy of Batman's is protected, so that they, in the event they do become a target. But the bat signal goes off, and so Batman goes to check it out. It's a phone. He gets a FaceTime. Joker FaceTimes him, basically saying that yeah, she told me that she knew who you were, that you were really who you really were, and she'd let me in if I helped her, and the whole. But he doesn't want to know. Also, apparently, he stole an engagement ring for Harley. As Bruce Wayne, Bruce rechristens the Thomas Martha Wayne, turns the Wayne Sims Foundation into the Thomas Martha Wayne Foundation. Basically, to further help those in need in Gotham. The young boy that he saved earlier in the series is introduced to him brought to him from Alfred, with the kid's adoptive parents. Apparently, he drew a picture for Batman, and he's the greatest hero ever. And he asked that Bruce Wayne get that to Batman, since they know each other. But as Batman swings off in the night, he's being watched by Amanda, and she is at least willing to, accept that. Yeah, okay. Batman does good, and and as Bruce Wayne, he also does good. So we'll hang back and delay the birth of her Gotham, but that is coming, and that is where the series ends. It's also pointed out that at one point, Amanda Sims does tell Batman that every life that's been lost, by his villains, in the various fights that occur. Even though he may not have been the one that committed them, they may have just been accidents, but they're still on. The blood is still on his hands, and he may be not entirely wrong, though Alfred did disagree with him on that one. Moving on to our last book for the moment, we've got Peacemaker Tries Hard, #1. It's Peacemaker. Man who loves peace so much he'll do anything for peace, even kill for it. So, Peacemaker is grocery shopping, getting cake mix and protein powder. Apparently, he's having a get together, and he's going to make a cake for it. But he gets a phone call from Amanda Waller. There's a terrorist group nearby that he's in the whole squad, and just Peacemaker. But apparently he brings up his upcoming get together and says, "Hey, the squad's not on a mission. That I'd love if they came." And they're all like, "No." Apparently, the last time they went to one, it was just him showing off his collection of VHS porn. So he said he found it in the woods, and Harley notes that it was disgusting, even for her. Waller covers for them, saying that they're on a mission, fighting Clayface. But Peacemaker gets the location and deals with the terrorists. Apparently, one of them he's dealt with before. But while dealing with the terrorists, put up a little dog. Black dog with white spots, including one on his neck that looks almost like a little bow tie. So Peacemaker names the dog Bruce Wayne, and cops show up to arrest the terrorists, and Peacemaker tries to invite them. Apparently, as a kid, he wanted a dog, but his dad was against it. Stating that blind allegiance that is a telltale sign of an empty head or double agent. He won't accommodate either. But Peacemaker's parole officer shows up, saying, "You went over, you left the state, and that is a violation of your parole." But you know, Peter says, "Hey, I was under orders from Waller, so." But his parole officer also explains that he's going to need eggs to make for a cake. But and Peacemaker reads the directions and realizes it's not really instant at all, is it? So he goes and gets what he needs: dog food for Bruce Wayne, eggs, some oil. Gets back, and there's a note saying if he wants his dog back, we need the water treatment station on the edge of town from the Brain. Makes his way in, and potentially speaking, might have actually killed one of the treatment plant workers. But the other worker says, "Yeah, it was probably Luke. Maybe it was Lucas, and he's a registered sex offender, bad one. No one likes him anyway." And yes, he's been hired by the Brain, as in Mala and the Brain. He's been contacted by Mala and the Brain. He explained that Brain wants a body, wanting to move again, prance through fields, emote with facial expressions and dramatic arm movements, touch, taste. However, Peacemaker is actually quite impressed by Monsieur Mala. I mean, he's a giant gorilla with a heavy machine gun. But, Brain's frenemy, General Mortis, has the key to create the perfect host body for the Brain. Peacemaker suggests his body, but though Brain kind of points out that Peacemaker's body looks like a rejected intelligent brain. But it's explained that Brain says he can't send Mala because he needs a hero to do it. He's done the research, run the numbers, and mathematically, heroes always beat villains, and the only way to assuredly defeat a scoundrel is with a champion. So he needs Peacemaker to be the hero, because the mission cannot fail. Peacemaker is quite enthused with the fact that he's needed. And Peacemaker is informed that if he says no, Monsieur Mala will eat Bruce Wayne. And so he says, "Okay, fine. Sit with my dog. What do I need to do?" Brain's answer is simple: bring him the genetic material of Deathstroke the Terminator. Yeah, not exactly the answer that Peacemaker was hoping for. So far, this has started off to a fun start. I'm not sure. I figure this is from continuity of one of the recent Suicide Squad Black Label series books, possibly Suicide Squad Blaze, which I sadly never read. So, but anyway, that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. As mentioned in the last video, I'm currently running a giveaway on my channel. I'll put the launch video for the giveaway the link to it will be in the description box, as well as links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal, as always. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.